So I'm starting the class. Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankaracharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam Shruti-Smriti-Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad-Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahavirang Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Deepti ji, you want me to chant?
Okay, yes.
A recording, Deepti ji.
Thank you. You can chant from
Recording has started.
20 to 25.
Atha Tritiyodhyayah Karmaneva hi samsiddhim Asthita janakadayah Lokasangrahamevapi Sampashyan kartumarhati Yadyadacharati shresthaha तत्तद्देवेतरो जनः सयत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन नानवाप्तमवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि यदि ह्यहन्न वर्तेयं जातु कर्मण्यतन्द्रितः मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः उत्सीदेयुरिमे लोकाः न कुर्यान् कर्म चेदहम् शङ्करस्य च कर्ता स्याम् उपहन्यामि माः प्रजाः सक्तः कर्मण्य विद्वांसः यथा कुर्वन्ति भारत कुर्याद् विद्वान् तथा सक्तः चिकीर्षु लोकसङ्ग्रहम्.
Thank you. Very good. So continuing with the topic that we saw yesterday, Bhagwan is urging everybody that him being the creator, him being the originator of the world, there is nothing here in this world that he has to accomplish from his side. He has made the creation for the sake of others. And there is nothing that he has to gain here. And there is nothing that is left to be gained. He is complete. Yet, he continues to abide, to live, to act on, to do karma as per what he has ordained his Srishti with. He has created the Srishti on the principle of Dharma, Yajna, we just saw. Based on that principle, Dharma is the upholder of creation, of Srishti. This nobody should ever forget. Dharma is the ground, is the principle, is the rule, is the very law which governs the life of creation, which governs everything in creation. How the creation will manifest itself depends upon how is dharma lived by people. How do people live with dharma? As many people live dharmically, that much society and society first, therefore, the creation will remain in its natural cycle as long as it is got the lifespan, however many billion years, doesn't matter, however many yugas that Brahmaji has started this cycle with. As less people abide in dharmas, more and more adharma, when it starts to rise in creation. What do we mean by more and more adharma rising? Means more people live adharmically. They are ready to compromise on dharma. They following dharma means there is a effort, there is a prayatnam, there is a constant struggle actually. But to take an easy way out, people fall prey to adharmic ways. More people abiding in adharma, lesser will be the span of creation. There will be more chaos, there will be disharmony, there there will be war, there will be all kinds of adharmic elements will grow in society, which make healthy living, peaceful living, joyful living very difficult, and it will also make it difficult for people who live in dharma to follow dharma. So, in every way, dharma will be the criteria on which Bhagwan says the Srishti will continue. Therefore, for the sake of all the beings who are here, I continue to live in the dharmas that I have created. Even I follow them. So every time he takes an avatara, he also abides in the laws that he has generated for this Srishti. So he's saying, being the Lord of it, I don't excuse myself. I abide in the karmas, I follow the karmas, I follow the dharmas. For whose sake? Because we all see that when do we do karmas? We do karmas when we want something. इच्छा जब होती है तो हम कर्म करते हैं. इच्छा जब होती है किसी फल प्राप्ति की तो हम कर्म करते हैं. बट अगर भगवान says I don't have any इच्छाs for anything, there is nothing that I want, तो कर्म की क्या आवश्यकता है? What is the need for karma? To which he says, for the sake of the creation, which means for the sake of people living in the creation, that they should have a creation here in which they can live their karma phal, they can get their gati. For their benefit, loka sangraha, I do karmas. So you also do karmas. Now, what will happen if you do not do karmas analasaha, tirelessly, ceaselessly? What is the harm? He said the harm is every being will start imitating me, will start following my non-functioning. I will set a example of it's okay not to do also. That it's okay not to do your karmas. I will be setting that example. And who are these people who will stop functioning? Shankara doesn't give any word here as such, but Madhusudan clarifies it further, and he says people like Manu, etc. Manvadinam. Manu is the one who is uh, Dharma Rakshak. He's written the laws of Dharma. Even Manu Adi means all these uh, portfolio holders of the macrocosmic world. Vayu Devta, Agni Devta, call them anything. Means there everybody will start to not follow their karmas. So Manu Adi, etc., will also not do their karmas. And so what will happen? He says, the whole creation, Utsideyuhu, Vinashyeyuhu, I will become the cause of Vinash here. That it's very difficult for people to identify how Dharma holds creation. Because this understanding is not clear to us, we don't have knowledge, we don't even have information about this, proper information that we may understand sometime. We have to just take it on as is said, that dharmas hold. We don't have that information to understand how they hold. We have to have uh, Shraddha here. Individual level, we can all see. Dharmo rakshati rakshataha. Rakshataha means whoever follows dharma, dharma protects them. And this individually, everyone who has lived a dharmic life knows how they get protected by dharma. And there is no explanation possible. It's a very subjective verification. Yes, I knew dharma protects. I didn't know how it protects, but I still chose to live with Shraddha, living my dharmas, and whenever need be, difficult times or etc., you find dharma comes and protects you. How dharma protects you, we will never ever know this. But this law works. He says once dharma is not upheld, vinash ho jayega. And to some extent, we keep seeing this. Our Puranas tell us that more and more the time passes, sorry, more and more Kali Yuga sets in. Kali Yuga means a time when people want to abide in easy ways, comfortable measures they take. There's hardly any tapas going on, there's hardly any struggle for holding righteousness is there. More and more of this have Kali sets in, less and less people will follow dharma, and you see more and more chaos around. So he says, Ime lokaha, in this world, that very nimitta which is dharma, if I am not following, people will start abiding as I do, and then karmani abhavat na kuryam karma chet aham. When they see I am not doing my karmas, there is an abhava of karma, means nahi ho rahe mere karm jo mujhe karne chahiye. Then sankarasya cha kartasyam. He says, moreover, karta, I will become the doer, I will become the cause. मैं कर्ता बन जाऊंगा. Look at the uh, subtlety of this. If anybody can understand, he says, if I do not do my karmas, मैं कर्ता बन जाता हूं. हम कर्ता क्या समझते हैं? हम कर्ता किसको कहते हैं?
When we do our normal day-to-day
When
actions.
exactly when we are doing things, जब हम करते हैं, we understand karta only as doing. He says, when I will not do my karmas, and this is the nuance that we need to understand very patiently and at a subtle level. ना करके, धर्मों को ना करके भी, पालन ना करके, अपने धर्मों का पालन ना करके भी कर्ता बनते हैं हम ना करने का. Why? Because उस ना करने का भी एक फल है. हम सोचते हैं सिर्फ करने का फल है. So we keep doing, hoping there will be a fruit, there will be a result that will come. He's clearly showing here, it's like in between the lines for those who can extract it, that little extra from here. When I am not doing my dharmas, moreover, kincha, Shankaracharya has used the word. Kincha means it's not just that there will be vinashaha, the cause of vinasha I will be. मैं ही इनिशिएट कर दूंगा विनाश को. कैसे इनिशिएट कर दूंगा? मैं जब अपने धर्म नहीं करूंगा, सेज कृष्णा. अगर मैं धर्म के पालन नहीं कर रहा, विनाश होगा. कैसे विनाश होगा? He says, I will become the karta of sankara. Sankara means intermixture, mixing. Basic meaning is mix ho jana. What is that sankaraha? It is karma sankaraha. Karma sankaraha means Vedas have ordained through dharmas everybody their own respective duties to abide in. When you have big organizations, especially those organizations that work for society, whose work is going to impact the society, even big business houses, everybody has a designated work. That is how the file goes from one table to another table to another table. उसका जो काम है उसको वही करना है. अगर वो काम नहीं करता, if he doesn't do that work, the file doesn't move to the next table, because that person will only start the work when the previous person has finished his work. It's a defined, very defined role. Especially when you go into countries where there is more communism, it is amazing to see how little freedom, even in work environment, people are given. So if you're employed for a particular task, you can only do that task. You're not going, if you do any other task other than that, you are likely to be punished. You're likely to be taken to task. आपका जो कर्म आपका डेजिग्नेटेड है, आप वही करोगे और उसको आप अच्छा करोगे. Laukically also we see this. In the world we see this. Business houses, as I'm saying, everywhere in the world. The more organized a sector is, what do we mean by an organized sector? Organized sector means they have organized the division of work, the division of responsibility, the division of labor. They've organized it in a way that it moves in a systematic, smooth function. When you go to a hospital, if you go to an emergency room, it's very fascinating. You just stay an observer there for a little while. If anybody comes with an emergency, there is the first lot of people, then they refer the other lot, then there are head nurses, helpers. Everyone works in their designated roles, attending to one task. That task is whoever's come in that anywhere in the world. This is just an example. I'm taking various examples to draw home that dharma is not to be understood just as अरे भगवान ने लिखा है करके. It is something we are already employing in the world. not understanding that we may be doing the principle, but it may not be in the category of a dharma because it is not shastra vihit. It is organization vihit. It is your capability vihit. Vihit means निमित्त. आपकी कैपेसिटीज देख के, आपकी कैपेबिलिटीज देख के, आपकी क्वालिफिकेशंस देख के, आपकी डिग्री देख के, you have been given that task. That's exactly the role of creation में भी जैसे चलता है. When somebody starts doing someone else's work, I'll take the example of, say, the medical room, emergency room. Now, a patient has come or someone has come with a severe chest pain, emergency, and the doctors are busy. Now, supposing the ward boy or the ward girl decides to take over the uh, patient. Firstly, is the intention wrong of that ward boy or the ward girl? The intention is pure. What is the intention? To help the patient. Sees around there are no doctors available, there are no residents available. The patient needs help. Therefore, let me do something. Let me do something. Let me do something. Is the intention wrong?
No.
No.
Intention is not wrong. But is it that person's qualification to do that?
No.
And
Not
if he
at
does
all.
that, if he says, no, 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 my intention is right, therefore it is my duty to follow. I must save also. I'm also working in a hospital setup. I'm also, after all, working in the emergency room. Why can I not? I have seen these doctors do this, 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 this. I have learned by observation. Therefore, why should I also not start doing? Is it the right thing for him to do?
That's wrong.
And what can be the consequence of that action? Usko lagta hai main theek kar raha hu. But what can be the consequence of that action?
You can lose the life.
You can lose the life. You can lose a life, and he can lose his job. Both can happen. Now,
So it all becomes a fine balance.
it is not just, yeah, it is a fine balance of understanding what is your role,
Capability.
yeah, based on your capability. Now, what is Bhagwan saying is Sankara. That is Sankara. What is Sankara? A ward boy trying to do a doctor specialist job, a specialist trying to say, okay, there is, he may do more harm than good. A specialist says, okay, there is no ward boy, let me start cleaning, or it won't work. No organization, nothing can work. Nothing can work if there is even a machinery does not work. If you have seen any packaging units lately, because the whole world is on packaging grounds now, if you have seen any packaging machinery, it's amazing, beautiful. I thoroughly enjoy this because you see there how mechanical we have made the law. A thing passes from one unit, it goes into another unit, उसको जो करना है वो करता है, it passes it on to another unit, उधर उसका अलग काम होता है. That machine is doing all that. But neither the previous part will work nor the next part will work till this part has finished its work. That is the rhythm, the harmony with which a product gets generated. It's beautiful. One leads to another, to another, to another. When it goes to the next hand, the previous stops working. When this goes to the next hand, the previous stops working. At the end, you get a final packaged, beautifully packaged product. And that that product, what I'm trying to draw your attention to is the harmony of each unit working with each other as if in a precise manner. Bhagwan said, in this creation, I have also made it like that. Each one has their role to play. All our five fingers, we often say this example, all five fingers are differently placed and sized, and but as a whole, they come to operate. They do task. They make us do so much. because it functions as one. But each of them has a different function specific to that. Put together, it is one function. Sankarasya means, supposing my thumbs ka kaam, my little finger says, I will do. Or my index finger ka kaam, my ring finger will say, I will do. When you start, or supposing my heart says, I will chutti today, liver says, I will do the job of the heart, lung says, I will do the job of the heart, etc. Sankaraha means karma sankaraha. Karma sankaraha comes where? From where? How does karma sankara, mixture of karma, means I am not doing what I am to do, supposed to do, but I am doing everything that I want to do, or I don't want to do, I don't do. I look at someone else and I see them doing, I like that, I also want to do that, whether I am qualified, whether I can or not. There is no consideration whether it is my duty or not. कोई कुछ कर रहा है, मुझे भी वो करना है, मुझे भी अच्छा लग रहा है, let me also do. I leave doing what I am supposed to do, but I get attracted by what someone else is doing, and I also start doing that. That is karma sankaraha. Overdoing or underdoing or not doing or doing because everyone else is doing any of these things. Karma sankar means किसी और के धर्मों का हम पालन करने लगते हैं, जो किसी और का काम है हम करने लगते हैं. That karma sankaraha, he says, is because of the fact, if I don't live up to dharmas, dharmas means karmas. If I have drawn designated portfolios, then each one is supposed to grow from their portfolio. This is one of the basic fundamental siddhant of a Vaidika society. सबका काम इक्वल है, यहाँ पे कोई सुपीरियर और इंफीरियर नहीं है, बट सबका अपना अपना काम डेजिग्नेटेड है. From where? Yes, starting point is from your birth, but there are a lot of exceptions that are also accommodated in the society by the Shastra, in the society, in Vyavahar. Exceptions are accommodated, but everyone cannot take the exception to be themselves. Without doing our karmas and dharmas, we stand on the grounds of exception, because the whole society, the entire, supposing, just for example, the Western world doesn't follow this system. Therefore, what are we now? We are attracted to those systems, and therefore, I don't do what my system tells me to do. वो कर सकते हैं, वो कुछ नहीं करके भी सब कुछ कर रहे हैं, तो हम क्यों इतना सब कुछ, except our own logic. I trust that through these words, the point is getting conveyed. Yes?
We want to ape because that is easier, you see. Life is
Yes,
easy, that's why.
absolutely. Because it is easy. They don't have demarcations. मर्जी पे चलती है ना, तो मर्जी मेरी मर्जी. I don't have rules defining me. I don't have someone to say this is not for you to do. Nowhere is it acceptable. If you live in a group, if you live in a society, if you live in a more than one, if you are all alone living in solitude by yourself, you have no other being around you, आप अपनी मर्जी से कुछ भी करो. But even if two of you are living together, now it cannot be entirely आपकी मर्जी. The other will have to be taken into consideration. Therefore, now this is how the society, Vedic society, Vedas envisioned the division in society so that the whole society could prosper, could be happy, could be peaceful, and at the same time, most important was they would use their own defined work scope as an opportunity to evolve, because सब करके आप नहीं evolve होने वाले. I do everything and I think that, okay, more I do, more evolution I will have, means more closer to my self growth I will be. That doesn't work like that. Even a small work, if you do, one little work, if you are given a task of, and we have seen many examples through Puranas, if you have even a small task that you undertake and you just do it with the right attitude, a most Jnani and Pandit may not evolve, may not have more eligibility for self knowledge, but a person who is just doing the same mechanical, you know, सुई में धागा डाल रहे हैं, सपोजिंग जस्ट एन एग्जाम्पल, किसी का काम है सिर्फ सुई में धागा डालो, एक दिन में आपको 1000 सुई में धागे डालने हैं और कोई काम ही नहीं है आपका, एंड उसको सिर्फ यही काम करना है. नाउ every time they are putting सुई में धागा, they can still grow. How much can they grow? They can grow more than all those who were born, supposing from the Vedic system, Brahmin, Kula, they went to Gurukula, they had all the knowledge, they did all the karmas and they were abiding in all the rituals and वो सारा कर रहे हैं जो शास्त्र में उनको कहा है. But who is growing? The one whose attitude is determined while even doing a small work like this. अब वो कहाँ पैदा हुआ है doesn't matter, whether they were born in that caste or the absolutely irrelevant. I will keep repeating this throughout the Gita and any text I also get an opportunity to. In the Vedic system, human beings are all treated at the same level. That's why we say Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. There is no demarcation at all. This is a false understanding, a false belief imposed upon us, and unfortunately, our own teaching lineage hasn't been able to clarify it enough, hasn't been able to counter this voice which forces itself upon us and our community that there is a division of caste in our system. The division of caste was only to say division of karma. Period. Nothing more, nothing less. अपने अपने कर्मों को करते रहो, धर्मों को करते रहो, जहाँ के आपके कुल में आप हो उसके अपने धर्म हैं, आप अपने धर्म पालन में रहो, and keep progressing it to the next generation, keep handing it to the next generation. वो कर्म संकर अगर नहीं हुआ, means, as he said in the previous verse we saw, I think it was Madhusudanji who said that, you are coming from a pure Kshatriya Kula. That means there was no Sankara. Your genetic pool, actually in today's language, you can call it the genetic pool. Your genetic pool, the genetic composition, has already gained the information passed from your previous generations, protecting you and guiding you in this body. You are born in this particular kul because of your individual leaning. Therefore, that karma sankar, if you can prevent, if you do not prevent that, then there'll be destruction. सब कोई सब कुछ काम करेंगे. जब सब कुछ काम करेंगे, this is how also then there is varna sankara, there is dharma sankara, means everybody is confused finally, मुझे क्या करना चाहिए, I don't know what my dharmas are, because minute there is karma sankara, we marry anywhere and everywhere, there is varna sankara, the minute there is varna sankara, you are freed of, you cannot now abide in Vedic karmas. Therefore, there are lesser and lesser people who are becoming eligible to live a Vedic lifestyle. People say it is very good because you're broadening your sphere. In modern life, it is said, excellent, intercaste, everything is wonderful because it is broadening your genetic pool. But it is good in a way from Laukik standpoint. But Vedic standpoint is your adhyatmik gati, your adhyatmik progress, your adhyatmic evolution, your adhyatmic unfoldment, it will become an obstacle. It will slow down, it will reduce. So he says, Vinashye yuhu, I am the cause of destruction. I'll become the nimitta. मैं ही ये कर दूंगा, sankarasya cha kartasyam, and I will become the cause of sankaram. Means people will do anything they like, they will do everything they should want to do and not do what they ought to do, etc. etc. Tena karanena. What is the karan? Sankarasya. Because of Sankara, that for which I have become the karta, that Sankaram, upahanyam, han, destruction, upahanyam, there will be complete destruction, imaha prajaha, of these people. And now we need to understand, upahanyam, han, destruction. Is it the physical destruction? Tena karanena upahanyam imaha prajaha. This praja, these people will go to destruction. Which destruction is it talking about?
I think mental destruction.
Can you identify a verse?
I don't think so. I can remember a verse.
Anyone? Which destruction will I've just already explained to some extent? Which destruction? I just said some destruction.
Is this one evam pravartitan chakram?
That also you can say yes. Yes. That the wheel that I have set in motion, okay. If they don't follow, they will destroy, yes. Chapter 1, verse 40. I'm purposely putting this so that you keep going back and keep recollecting, keep connecting, because remember, Gita is one conversation. Kulakshaye pranashyanti kuladharmaha sanatanaha dharme nashte kulam kritsnam adharmo abhibhavatyuta. Very good. This is definitely where he talked about kulakshaya, and then he had said varna sankaraha in 41st verse. Sri dushtasu varshneya jayate varna sankaraha. This is how the adharma will grow and there will be varna sankara. But what is the destruction he is talking about? This is at the society level. But here he is saying, I will be the cause of by this varna sankaraha, there will be upahanyam. I'll be the cause of their destruction. Which destruction? When adharma grows, what happens?
Gati, your gati will.
So
if he doesn't, you said in one of the explanation, if he doesn't follow his dharma, then the reason why he should follow the dharma is so that people don't go lower on their gati.
Right, that is also right, absolutely. The destruction here he is talking about because of adharma is buddhi nashat pranashyati. 63rd verse, 2nd chapter. How? Adharma, once it has taken over, yes, following the senses and instant gratification. The minute there is varna sankaraha, there is karma sankaraha, the buddhi, that you are not following your dharmas, adharma is growing. Why does adharma grow? Because of all this kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya growing in a person. When they grow in a person, your discernment is gone. So here Shankara says, I'll just come to the verse and shift.
That ladder of fall, right?
Ladder of fall. Means, what is that ladder of fall talking? Your spiritual fall.
Right.
So
the
that
confusion that gets created, and that's why you get ladder of fall.
Excellent. That is the one that he's talking. Upahanyam. किंच संकरस्य, that confusion that gets created कि मुझे क्या करना है, मेरा क्या धर्म है, मैं ये करूं कि नहीं करूं, and in that confusion I'll end up doing something that I think I should do, but I don't know if it is. Except that confusion is bringing me to a susceptible point where, because of that, you have the spiritual destruction, the possibility of you evolving, it has destroyed. And Bhagwan says, I am supposed to do anugraha on people. मैंने ये सृष्टि बनाई है as an anugraha on people. That is my blessing to people. This creation is my blessing to people. And I myself will become tat upahananam kuryam. I will become the cause of their hanan. Which hanan? Not just the physical world. वो तो होएगी ही होएगी. But it is your spiritual fall, because if I don't follow my dharmas, you don't have an example of how to follow your dharmas. If you don't see them being followed, you think it is okay not to follow. If, like in today's world, there are very few people who can live with the dharmas that their varna and ashrama will speak of. Most of us are casual about these things because nobody is holding us responsible in society. But Ishwar, he has a record of everything. So he says, less people following. What was I saying? I'm sorry. Huh. Uh, if I don't follow my dharmas, nobody is seeing anybody following. They don't know how to follow these dharmas. They are not seeing an example. उनके आंखों के आगे नहीं है कि कोई धर्मों के साथ कैसे जीता है. As we say, your actions speak louder than your words. If you don't see someone following dharmas, let's put it positive. If you see someone following dharmas, what happens to you?
It inspires you.
It inspires you. It can, even if you don't know how, it still connects with you. It still says, "Ha, this is I should also." Maybe there is a positive spiral upwards. So Bhagwan says, अगर मैं नहीं करूँगा तो मनु एक्सेट्रा ये लोग कोई भी नहीं करेंगे. That means धीरे धीरे coming to human life, human beings will also not do their karmas, as a result of which, what will happen? He says, I will become the very cause of them having a spiritual fall. It will give them adhogati. It will uh, slip them into a lower life form. Therefore, that doesn't suit me as an Ishvara. As Ishvara, it doesn't go by my character. Ana anurupam. It is not uh, in accordance with it, so it will go against my nature of Ishvara. Therefore, for the sake of people, I keep doing my karmas, dharmas. You also, Arjun, if you think you are a jnani, therefore you wanted to take karma sannyas and spend your rest of the life in Atma Mananam, Atma Chintanam, Atma Nishtha, if that is what you wanted to do, then also born in a Kshatriya family, your dharma is for Loka Sangraha, act in society. You should be acting in society for the sake of others. Lift up your bow, fight the battle to protect dharma. Protect dharma, because a dharma is what is on the Kaurava's side. They are the ones who are doing adharma, and they will grow in power and strength if you do not strike at this point. If you do not control them now, they will disrupt the society. All our dharmic elements have to be handled every time they rise up. There is no guarantee that once you've handled, they will not rise up. The nature of a dharma is it keeps springing up, just like Nag Kalya. It will keep springing up. You control one head, the other will come up. So every time in society a dharma rises, There are the protectors of Dharma. The Kshatriyas have to protect by physically destroying the adharmic elements. The education part, the Brahmins who are supposed to educate the society, have to ceaselessly continue teaching the society, showing them the right knowledge, showing them the right understanding, so that each one understands what the dharmas are and stays to act on it. Yadi, now in the 25th verse, Punaha, he says again, if you think that you are kritartha buddhi, means, as I just said, you think that you are a ज्ञानी and you have nothing else to do, मेरे जैसे सोचते हो कि मुझे कुछ, मैंने तो सब पा लिया है, आई एम कृतकृतः, you have a kritarth buddhi, means krita artha buddhi. Artha means for the sake of, uh, कृत कर दिया. आपको अगर लगता है कि मैंने तो सब अपने धर्म कर लिए हैं, आत्मवित अन्यः वा, और and means you think yourself to be a knower, tasyapi, even then, atmanah kartavya abhave api para anugrahah eva kartavya itiyaha. Even when you have no sense of, it's a fascinating statement. See how Gita will protect you at so many levels. Even if you think atmanah kartavya abhave api, even if you think I have no kartavya left here, para anugrahaha eva. Para anugrahaha would mean what? I'm slowly also. Sorry?
The anugraha you get
So
by
what?
following Dharma.
Yes.
Well-being of others.
Correct.
Well-being.
Yes. Para अनुग्रह, दूसरों का अनुग्रह. पर, औरों का, औरों के अनुग्रह के लिए एव कर्तव्यः. It is your कर्तव्य. Follow your कर्तव्य. औरों के अनुग्रह के लिए, दूसरों पे अनुग्रह करने के लिए अपने कर्तव्यों को तुम करो. कब? Even when you know that I have no कर्तव्य left here. मेरा कोई कर्तव्य है नहीं यहाँ पे, फिर भी to bless others for the sake of others, stay in your kartavya. Is this connection clear? If you think like me, you have done everything that you were supposed to do and you have nothing more left, you are a knower, even then, when you actually have no duties, कर्तव्य अभावे अपि, अब मेरा कोई कर्तव्य रह नहीं जाता है, फिर भी it's one of the most, जिंदगी में कभी काम किसी के आने वाली बात है, especially people who do कर्म योग. At some point in the life, you realize I have really no duties left, and you actually don't want to. You want to give up all karmas. There's nothing left to do. You don't want to. You don't want to participate in any karma. Why? Because duties are defined. No, not just, they don't bind the person, but duties are defined. And if those definitions no longer hold, you have no more a duty left, you may think. And you may decide to give up your karmas. But if in your nature, if in your composition, by your prarabdha, by your past karma, you are designated for a particular task, then para anugrahaha eva kartavyaha. Keep doing what you're supposed to do. How? And this is beautiful. Very, very inspiring verse. At an individual level, just as it doesn't have to be for anyone else, but for me, this verse, 25th verse, is a very inspiring verse. Very, very inspiring verse. Can you chant twice?
Sure. सक्तः कर्मण्य विद्वांसः तथा कुर्वन्ति भारत कुर्याद् विद्वान् तथा सक्तः इतिषु लोकसङ्ग्रहम् सक्तः कर्मण्य विद्वांसः यथा कुर्वन्ति भारत कुर्याद् विद्वान् तथा सक्तः इतिषु लोकसङ्ग्रहम्.
He says, Hey Bharata, we'll come to the meaning later, addressing Arjuna. O Arjun, avidvamsaha yatha karmani saktaha yatha, just as, avidvamsaha. Who are avidvamsaha? What is actual word meaning? Say this much, I think everybody should now be able to
A vidwan would mean ignorant or someone who's with जो विद्वान नहीं है.
हाँ, जो विद्वान नहीं है means ignorant, जो ज्ञानी नहीं है, जो कर्म का अधिकारी है, जो कर्म में इच्छा रखता है. यथा, just as, avidvamsaha, referring to a person जो ज्ञानी नहीं है, विद्या नहीं है, ignorant है, self ignorant है. Such people, ज्ञान में अधिकार तो है नहीं, अविद्वांसः, हाँ, प्राकृत है, लौकिक है, correct. Such people, what do? Karmani saktaha. They are very attached to कर्म करने में. They act with a lot of attachment, with a lot of trishna for karma phal. इसलिए कर्मों से जुड़े रहते हैं. What is a modern philosophy of society in society today? Till the last day of your life, you should be working. कर्मों से जुड़े रहो. Good in its own place. But फल प्राप्ति के लिए जुड़े रहते. That is one part of the sentence. यथा अविद्वांसः कर्मणि सक्ताः कुर्वन्ति, करते रहते हैं, कर्मों को करते ही रहते हैं जुड़ के. ओ भारत, then what? कुर्यात्, विद्वान, तथा सक्तः चिकीर्षुः लोक संग्रहम. Just as, कितना भाव है, कितना रजस है, कितना फल की तृष्णा है, फल के लिए I want, एक रस है. You have to imagine all these things. The first line, if you understand, you will understand the value of the second line. First line को पहले पूरा अनकोड करो. एक अविद्वान means एक ignorant person. Who's an ignorant person?
जो दुनिया में रैट रेस में भागा जा रहा है.
Very good. हम सब. Let's say हम सब. For now. जो रैट रेस में भागा जा रहा है. Correct. जो actually you put it right. जो रैट रेस में भागा जा रहा है. जैसे वो, आप लोगों के पास ही बेटर शब्द होंगे शायद, जैसे वो लगा रहता है ना, कुछ करना है, कुछ बनना है, कुछ पाना है, कुछ जुड़ा हुआ है. जैसे वो कर्म करता है इतना जुड़ के, इतने रस के साथ, इतनी एंथुजियाज्म के साथ, इतने एक्सपेक्टेशन के साथ, इच्छाओं के साथ, उसको ये करना है, वो करना है, यहाँ जाना है, वहां जाना है, ऐसे. You've understood the spirit. तथा, in the same way, वैसा ही जो विद्वान है, कुर्यात, the lettering of the word is used in the sense you do. आज्ञा है ये, विधि है ये, तुम करो. कौन? विद्वान. जो विद्वान है उसको कहा है तुम करो. चिकीर्षुः, with a desire for what? लोक संग्रहम. असक्तः, remaining asaktaha, बिना शक्ति के. Sakti means attachment. Without attachment, you do with the same flavors, I don't know what the right, with the same enthusiasm. Hanji? Spirit. Do it with the same spirit. You do it in the same spirit, but without attachment. What for? For the sake of loka sangraha. That is that kuriyat fervor. That's a good word. Same fervor. That's the right word. Spirit and fervor. Correct. Kuriyat. This is telling a desirer of ज्ञान जो कर्म योग में आ रहा है for चित्त शुद्धि, for ज्ञान अधिकारत्वम, उसको कह रहे हैं कुरियात, असक्तः. Without getting attached, show the same enthusiasm, show the same in your action. जैसे आप इच्छाओं के साथ कर्म करते थे, you forget those and विद्वान and अविद्वान. जब आप कर्म योग शुरू करते हो, जब आपके पास इच्छाएं हैं और आप जैसे करते थे रस के साथ, एक भाव के साथ, एक भागा दौड़ी में, with that josh and continue doing, but असक्त हो जाओ. See the connection? He said first, जो ignorant people हैं and जो ज्ञानी हैं, जो ज्ञान की इच्छा रखते हैं. Ignorant जैसा जुड़ के काम करता है, जो ज्ञानी की इच्छा रखते हैं उनको कहा है उसी एटीट्यूड से और स्पिरिट से, उसी जोश से, उसी फवर से, उसी लगन से कर्म करो, मगर unattached, asaktaha. And clear the word?
Which is same action with a different underlying philosophy.
Absolutely. Same, not only same action, it
but
is the same spirit of the action. Means your जो आपको एक फल चाहिए और उसके लिए आप क्या क्या कर्म करने को तैयार होते हो. Supposing I want admission in a college abroad somewhere, you know, and this was always my fascination. If I want to go abroad to study, look at the years of preparation that goes. So much I'm ready to do. If someone wants to participate in the beauty pageants, so much preparation they do. If someone wants to become an astronaut, really wants to become an astronaut, so much passion they have for it. Actually, passion would be the right word. There's so much passion behind it. Anything that anybody wants to do, if someone wants to just climb the peaks, become a mountaineer, there are fascinating tales of people, stories of people, just out of sheer desire to achieve something. Climb all the 7 great peaks of the world. From Mount Everest being the highest, but K2 being the most difficult. Their whole thing is to get to K2, conquer K2. So many years of preparation. किस लगन से, लगन, किस लगन से कोई कर्म करता है जब उसको किसी चीज की इच्छा है? शास्त्र हमको कहता है उसी लगन से कर्म करो, लगन में आपकी कमी नहीं होनी चाहिए, मगर अटैचमेंट, शक्ति छोड़ दो, कर्म से और फल से शक्ति छोड़ के लगन तुम्हारी कर्म में कम नहीं होनी चाहिए. दैट्स द राइट थिंग. इन योर कर्मास आपकी लगन नहीं कम हो जानी चाहिए. उसी लगन से कर्म करो, जिससे जब आपको इच्छा है कोई और आप कितनी लगन से वो पाने की कोशिश करते हो, उसी लगन से आप अपने कर्मों को, जो धर्म के कर्म हैं, जो आपको करने हैं, उसी स्पिरिट से करते रहो. असक्तः. Okay? Here Shankara just gives a very small word meaning. Saktah कौन है? I like the definition. कौन है जो attached to karmas है, जिसको कर्मों में बहुत लगन है? अस्य कर्मणः फलम मम भविष्यति. He's quoted unquoted. Means ये हमारे शब्द हैं जो भाष्यकार लिख रहे हैं. अस्य कर्मणः, ये कर्म कर रहा हूं, क्यों? मम फलम भविष्यति, लेटर ऑन, भविष्य में मुझे ये फलम, मेरा फल है ये, ऐसा कहने के लिए जो कहता है ये कर्म मैं करूं तो मेरा फल होगा ये कल, ऐसा कहने वाला केचित सम अविद्वांसः, जो अविद्वान है, यथा कुर्वन्ति, जैसे वो करते हैं कर्म. कैसे करते हैं? कोट अनकोट, अस्य कर्मणः, मेरे कर्म, फलम मम भविष्यति, उसी के मुझे फल मिलेंगे, उस लगन से जो करते हैं. विद्वान, हु इज दैट विद्वान? आत्मविद, जो खुद को जानता है. बिकॉज द कनेक्शन वाज, इफ यू थिंक योरसेल्फ टू बी द नोअर ऑफ आत्मा, ज्ञानी समझते हो तो भी, दैट्स द कनेक्शन, नॉट टू फॉरगेट. फॉर दैट आत्मविद, तथा असक्तः सन, remaining asaktaha, detached. Then he says, if you ask a question, tadvat kimartham karoti, why will I work then? If that is your question, जब मैं ज्ञानी हूँ, आत्मविद हूँ, तो अब तो मुझे आराम करने दो, अब तो मुझे let the society take care of me, अब तो मेरे को क्या करना है? I have done what is to be done. तद्वत किमर्थम करोति, for what sake should I do karma? tat shrunu, listen to that. चिकीर्षुः कर्तुम इच्छुः लोक संग्रह, desire, इच्छुः, करने की इच्छा रखो. for what sake? लोक संग्रह, just for the, he should have the desire for लोक संग्रह. his लगन should be कमिटमेंट, लगन, डेडिकेशन. लगन वर्ड में बहुत सारी चीजें इकट्ठी आ जाएंगी. वो जो लगन होनी चाहिए, वो लगन उसकी है लोक संग्रह. बिकॉज ऑफ लोक संग्रह he does the karma exactly the same way as he would have done if he wanted a fruit for himself. And this is actually defined karma yoga beautifully. Is that clear?
This is really amazing.
This
कैसे करने का, if you want, मतलब इसमें तो प्रूफ नहीं चाहिए, राइट? तो मैं कैसे सपोज करूं, मतलब वो लगन कैसे समझ में आएगी कि कितना लगन डालना है? मतलब हाउ विल यू कम टू नो कि आप, मतलब हाउ डू यू, लाइक वो तीव्र है या मध्यम है, कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा?
आप अपनी ही मेमोरी में, अपनी ही किसी बहुत इच्छा के लिए जब आपने परस्यू किया, तो अपनी ही लगन को याद करो. या किसी भी चीज के लिए, सपोजिंग सडनली, जस्ट टू टेस्ट, if some of your family member needs something, you know, तो आप किस लगन से वो करोगे? But supposing it is an extended family who needs something, और आपका राग द्वेष भी थोड़ा बहुत है वहां पे, तो अब अगर आपको वही कर्म किसी के लिए करना है, simple example, okay, very simple लौकिक example, completely to highlight. Suppose if you're closer to one parent side, I'm not saying in-laws or parents, अपने आप ही, anybody, and you're not so close to the other. Now you have to book tickets for the one air flight. You have to do some research and you have to book tickets for the one you are close to. अपने आप एक क्या निकलता है?
आप बहुत इंटरेस्ट लेके और बहुत रिसर्च you do
Get the best deal.
हाँ,
To get the best deal.
well put. सब लगा दोगे आप अपना सब कुछ to get the best deal. है ना? ना वही टिकट आपको किसी और के लिए बुक करनी है जिसके साथ आप सेम रिलेशन एट डिफरेंट लेवल, बट यू आर नॉट टू क्लोज टू दैट पर्सन. आपके भाव, नाउ यू स्टिल नो दैट यू शुड गेट द बेस्ट डील, मगर आपके भाव बदल गए ना. असक्तः रिमेन. नाउ कीप दैट मेमोरी. मैं जैसे उनके लिए करूं वैसे ही मैं इनके लिए भी करूं. There'll be no distinction. That will become. He's talking here, of course, of the Vidvamsaha, but we are bringing it in the level of Karma Yoga also. That actually becomes the pinnacle of Karma. अगर आप ये कर सकते हो, तो now you are qualified Karma Yogi. You have freedom. So तीव्रता आपकी कंटिन्यू रहनी चाहिए, irrespective of anything. और वो तीव्रता आपको अपनी खुद पता चलती है. जब कहीं आपको लगन है तो आप उसमें कैसा जोश डालते हो, उसमें क्या क्या प्रयत्न करते हो, वो सब आपको पता है कि आपके अंदर कितना करने की क्षमता है. वो किसी जहां आपका लगाव है वहां पे वो क्षमता दिख जाती है, और जहां लगाव इतना नहीं है सडनली वो क्षमता मैनिफेस्ट नहीं करती नॉर्मली फॉर अ नॉर्मल पर्सन जो राग द्वेषी है. क्लियर?
Yes, very clear.
Good. So here rest of it, there's nothing great, different. Everything's very great, but only Bharat iti, that Krishna has used to Arjun, called him Bharat in this verse. That here says Bharatavamsha udbhavatvena. You are born in a Bharatavamsha. And what is Bharatavamsha? Bha. Bha in Bharat means Jnanam. Tasyam ratatvena. That rata is reveling. The one who revels in knowledge. Where one revels in knowledge is Bharat. Even the one who is reveling in knowledge is termed as Bharat, Sambodhan karke. O Bharat. That Bharata. Tvam yatha yathokta shastra artha bodhayogya sati asi iti darshayati. You are one who understands, you have the capability of understanding what the Shastra says. Yathokta Shastra Artha Bodha Yogya. Asi iti. You are the one who has this Yogyata, because you are from Bharatavamsh, where everyone revels in knowledge. Okay? Clear this verse, everyone?
Yes, please.
Great. So, evam, in this manner, now he connects to the next verse. Loka Sangraham, I will just start and we are stopping the class here. Evam, in this manner, Loka Sangraham हाँ, सर्वभूत हिते रतः, करेक्ट. लोक संग्रहम चिकीर्षोः न मम आत्मविदः कर्तव्य अस्ति. अन्यस्य वा लोकसंग्रहं मुक्त्वा ततः तस्य आत्मविदः इदम् उपदिश्यते. So, okay, here he says, for me who is an Atmavidah, I may have the kartavya for lokasangraha. And there will be no other kartavya, only lokasangraha. That is my duty. Then, to such a one, an advice is given. And this is also to all teachers. Means, जो भी लोक संग्रह के लिए कर्म करते हैं, उनको ये कहा गया है. When you are working for the welfare of others, over here is said, an advice. What is that advice? In a general term, do not unsettle the minds of ignorant people who are attached to their karma phala. मतलब जो कर्मों की रेस, जो रैट रेस में है, उनको डिस्टर्ब करके मत बोलो जी आओ जी आओ जी आओ जी आओ जी, ज्ञान पढ़ो ज्ञान पढ़ो ज्ञान पढ़ो. Don't disturb them unless until there is a jignasa, unless until there is a self-willingness to learn, unless and until there is a little vairagya for karma pal, unless and until there is some vivek shakti, अपने अंदर से उसको जानने की इच्छा है अगर, तो वो qualified है. मगर if just because for the sake of lok sangrah, don't go about disrupting those who are attached to action. Don't force them to get converted to karma yogi. Do not unsettle their minds. Okay, this verse we'll take in the next class.
Like let sleeping dog lie.
Yes, good one. Yes, correct. Don't unsettle them. So बीच बीच में कुछ बोलते रहो, कोई बात नहीं, कभी कभी इधर उधर, as per the occasion, as per the need. कभी कभी because you have to inspire others to move also, but do not. It's a very thin line. So we'll conclude here.
I say Vicky? ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय. ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः. गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम्. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः, पृथ्वी सस्यशालिनी, देशोऽयं शोकरहितः, ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति.
With reference to, what is the date? 1 second, please. Today's 4th, huh? Okay. So I'll be sending final dates for Bhajgovindam, but likely maybe 19th Monday. Still need to work a little bit on the structuring, how to do, which I'll probably in this week plan something. But 19th is a likely date to start the classes. We will go by first just learning chanting 5 verses, first 5 verses of Bhajgovindam, and then we will understand the 5 verses. Then we will again chant 5 verses, learn them, and then we will again do the next 5 verses. It's a small text of 31 verses, 31 verses. So in all probability, it will be 19th, but final I will still announce, send messages. Okay. So thank you
Recording
everyone.
has stopped.
Namaste.
He looks to buy any book.
Sorry,
The broadcast of Facebook Live
You need
has
to buy
stopped.
any book.
I will